So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take your file from your folder that we've taken a picture of your sneaker that you've actually done. So as an example here, you can see this is an image of the sneaker drawn and with marker. What we're going to do now is we're going to open up Adobe Illustrator. Please make sure when you get to Illustrator that you go to File, Window, Workspace, and Essentials Classic and kind of reset that up for yourself. Okay, and then you're going to go to File and New. Once you get to File and New, you're going to make sure you use the tabloid size, and then right here on your screen you can see you have an option for orientation between vertical and horizontal. You're going to choose horizontal with one artboard, and you're going to select Create. Once you've selected Create, what you're going to do then is you're going to go to File and Place. Inside your file, as an example, inside your folder I should say, here's the file. What you want to do is select the file and then select Template. Make sure link is unchecked, but make sure template is checked. And then you're going to hit place. So once this comes in, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. You'll notice that it's a little bit big for the artboard. Over here, you'll see something that says layers. If you don't see it, it's, where is it? If you don't see it and it gets lost, you can always go to Window and Layers and get that back for yourself. So I'm going to zoom in on that for a moment. And what you want to see is here, I can unlock the bottom layer, that's the picture. I can select it and then resize it so it's a little bit smaller. So I'm going to hold Shift and Option and just kind of resize it a little bit. I'm also going to double click right in this section. And when I double click on it, it gives me this option that comes up that says Layer Options. And I'm just going to choose to dim it down to 30% and hit Return. I'm also going to lock that bottom layer. So what you're going to do is you're going to stay on layer 1. You're going to make sure that you obviously save this to your folder. And then you're going to begin. So to begin this project, what you're going to do is you're going to draw. I'm going to give you 2 different options for this. And you're going to draw this thing shape by shape. And so here are the 2 options. Option number 1, I'm going to start with the tongue area, this area here. You can use your pen tool, or if you're more comfortable, the Curvature Pen Tool that's right next to it. Either one of those is fine to get started. I'm going to use the regular pen tool. Up across the top, I'm going to use no fill. I'm going to change it to a black stroke, and I'm going to make the black stroke here at the top to a 0.5. Then what I'm going to do is, and this is option number 1, remember option number 1, is that you can click and start creating these lines, right? Shape by shape. So like, for example, here I would go to kind of the middle of the curve. I would click and pull, go a little bit further, click, come straight down to here, click, click and pull a little bit, click. Now if you remember, when you click and you pull, if you hold Option, you can tell it which direction to go in. I'm going to tell it to come back this way. Then I'm going to let go of the mouse first, that's important, and then let go of Option. And then continue, click and drag, and then connect it back to where you started. So this becomes its own closed up shape, which then you can select with the black arrow. And then you can go up to the top and you can give it any color you want. Once you give it a color here, remember there are swatches up in this corner over here, and then there are a whole bunch of other swatch options. If you right click on that and go down, you can find any of these color books, and so many colors to choose from. Okay. Another thing I want you to see is that when you do click on these pieces, and you can use the white arrow to kind of see it a little bit better. So if I click on this, and I'm going to zoom in one more time, you should be able to see the dots that I created. Let me just change the color here so you can see. So you can see there's a blue dot here, dot, 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 dot. If you want to smooth things out a little better, if you're not quite getting the line that you like, you have 2 options. You can use the white direct selection tool. You can double click any point. You could then move that point wherever you would like. You could also move the handlebars that are connected to that point. One other option that you do have is there's something right here. It looks like a pencil, but it's called the Smooth tool. And if you use the Smooth tool and you double click the Smooth tool, you're going to get these options. I usually go to about this one in terms of smoothing. And what you do is you click OK, and you take that Smooth tool and you brush over the line you've already created. So like, for example, here at the bottom, if I brush over it like this, click and drag over it, it kind of smooths out the line a little bit. And so you might find that it really smooths out the work that you've done. So that was option number 1. You use the pen tool, and then you create the shape. I'll do one more using the pen tool. I'm going to actually use the Curvature Pen Tool this time. That's just the second one here. So to get off of this first shape, I'm going to hold Command and click anywhere on my screen. And then I'm going to use this Curvature Tool for the next one. And again, I'm going to use No Fill, Black Stroke, 0.5 at the top. So here, I'm going to go click at the top, then go a little further, click, then go a little further, click, click, click. This one, it's like almost every half an inch you're clicking. but usually at the middle of the curve and the end of the curve. The middle of the curve, end of the curve. Okay, now, I drew that one. It's not perfect. You want to fix it. Remember, you use the white arrow, the direct selection tool. You can double click on any point. You can move the point around to get it right. This one right here, you see it kind of curves right here, but you really want it to be a straight corner. So instead, you're going to go over to the pen tool. You're going to use the anchor point tool here, and you can click right on that anchor point, and it's going to create into like a sharp angle instead. Same thing there. Same thing there. And then again, just adjust with the white arrow exactly where you want it to be. And then you can give it color, like you did all the others. Right now, this brown one is covering the first one, so all I have to do is right-click on it, arrange, and send to back. Now, down here in this little section, you see where it kind of overlaps like that. It's a simple fix. Take the white arrow, click on the green shape. You can double-click any point, like I told you before. Then you can just reposition these lines, reposition the handlebars, and get it kind of the way that you would like it to be. Smooth it out as much as possible. You can use that smooth tool again to kind of smooth it out. And now it looks better. You don't see that gap from far away, especially. It looks nice and clean. Okay, here's the second way to do this, and that is you can create the outside edge of your shoe first. I'm going to do using just this one over here as an example, all right? And I would do the outside edge of the shoe first. Oh, and I forgot to kind of give it no fill again. Okay, so no fill, just a black stroke. I'm going to go like this. Click and drag, click, 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 drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag. So remember, you're doing the outside edge first if you're going to do it in this particular way. Right? It's like the outline of the entire thing. And then you hold Command and you click away. You then take the exact same tool, same settings, same everything, and you start doing the interior lines. In my case here, I actually should use this one that's a little bit more drawn to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to move it over here for a moment. It's the same outside shell, basically. Okay. I take the same tool, right? And now what I'm going to do is hold Command, click away. And then for these lines that are inside, the interior lines, all you have to do is start outside the line like this, click and drag, draw the line that you want, right? Hold Command and then click away. So we'll do another one. Click, hold Command, click away. And then you can do the ones that connect to each other. So like I could do click, click and drag like that, hold Command, click away. I can go over here, click, 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 click. I'm going to go to here, hold Command, click away. So you're trying to outline, the lines that you do see, hold Command, click away. I don't care if they go past the edge, it does not matter. In fact, I'm going to show you how to get rid of them very, very simply. And you just continue them, hold Command, click away, right? Drag, hold Command, click away. Hold Command, click away. And you keep working this same way, right? As much as you can. Just kind of drawing the individual lines. Right? Okay, now I'm not going to do the bottom right now, but at least you have somewhat of an idea of what I'm doing now. Here's how you fix it. Because right now, if I take the black arrow and I click on these, they're individual lines. I won't be able to color them. They're not their own shapes. What you're going to do instead is select everything with the black arrow. And once it's all selected, you're going to go to a new tool called the Shape Builder tool. If you use the Shape Builder tool, you'll notice when you pass over it, now that it's selected with the Shape Builder tool, you see these little sections. Now this one I didn't go quite far enough, which means over here I have to actually just move this so it either crosses over it or touches it like that, and then I should be okay. Make sure that all your lines connect or cross over each other. So connect or cross over. I think most of the other ones are fine. Okay, I'll zoom out a little bit. So again, black arrow, select the entire thing, go to the Shape Builder tool, and as I go on it, you see that little area, looks like a grid. I'm going to click all the shapes that I actually do want. So I'm going to click, 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 right? Which is basically breaking them all up into their own individual shapes. To get rid of these little tails that hang off if you went past the line at all, just hold Option on your keyboard and then you can click those little pieces. And it'll get rid of those individual little spots which you might have overlapped. Now, it actually broke it up for you. So, if you take the black arrow and you click away and you click on any one of these pieces now, it is now its own piece. So you can click and color any of these things, and they are totally separate, totally their own files. Own shapes, I should say. This is pretty bad colors to choose here, but I'm just giving you an example. And also, because they're their own pieces, when you select this thing, you could get rid of a piece. Like this. If it doesn't work, just get rid of it. Slice it away. And you can still click on them and get rid of them here too. And so that's the easiest way to kind of go about drawing, is one of those two options. So either the option that I showed you here, or the option where you're drawing directly each shape one at a time here. The final steps to this project are if you want to add gradients and or patterns to your project. So I'm going to use this tongue as an example here. And all you have to do is click on it one time with the black arrow tool. And then over here on your swatches, the first thing is gradients. So you will see that there are 3 gradients listed here. I'm going to choose this one. It goes like a yellow to an orange to a red. To control this, once you've filled it with that gradient, you can go over to your gradient tool on your toolbar here. And as soon as I click it, you see a line forms here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. There's a line. Now what can I do with this line? If I click on this black dot on the left-hand side, I can move the entire line, which then moves the gradient kind of with it. I could also go over to this side, just past the corner. It looks like a little rotation tool, and I can rotate this in any direction that I would like. I could also slide any of these white sliders, which gives us more or less of the color. I could slide the color stop itself to get more or less of the color. I can also actually just click and drag anywhere that I would like. Like if I want this to be, to fit right in here, I could kind of go like this at that exact angle and get exactly as I want. If you want to change any of these colors, by the way, you can double click any of them, and the color picker comes up and you can choose the color that you'd like. Like I can make that, or I can make it purple, and then click away, and you notice that you've done it now, and you can spread it out if you go further, or if you make it tighter, it kind of shrinks up on you. Okay, so that's the gradient tool. However, there is one other option which works great for the gradient, and that is once the gradient is in there, just go to the top of your screen, and there's 3 gradient types at the top. The first one is linear, which really means it's going kind of left to right. The next one is radial, which I'll just click on so you can see it comes up like a circle. And the last one is freeform. Now, if I click freeform, you'll see these dots get placed in here. Now, these dots are pretty cool. Right now it's just showing black to white to kind of a maroon color, but you can move any of these dots. There's a second dot on here that you can click and drag to create a larger area. You can also double click and change that color. So for example, if I wanted this area to be yellow, I would make that yellow. If I want this area at the top to be, a different color, let's say purple, I could make it purple. And then I could just move it around, and I can move the individual colors in different places. So you can really pinpoint exactly how and where you want that that gradient to be, okay? And that's a beautiful kind of way to do your gradient, is using that freeform piece, okay? All right, so we have all of that. Additionally, you can take any piece when you click on it, go up to the top of your screen, go to the word effect, and you can choose any of these Illustrator effects or Photoshop effects. There are some ones I like to use for this project. For example, in the Illustrator effects, there's one called Stylize, and if you do something like Inner Glow, for example, you'll see it puts this little shine on it, almost like it's made of plastic. It has different blending modes that you can play with, different opacities and different blurs. So, and you can do it from the center or the edge. So if I bring down this, I can do it more towards the edge. You can just see like that little white on the edge. Or if I bring it a little bit more blurred, it comes a little tighter. I can do it on the center, so it comes out to in, or in to out, I should say, kind of like that sort of thing. So you can play around with any of these on any of your pieces. Lastly, I'm going to click on this brown piece, and that's going to be for patterns and textures and things. So if you go over to your swatches here, there is a set of couple of kind of patterns, but there's not many. If you go over to this top right hand corner of the swatches panel and you go down towards the bottom, open Swatch Libraries, you will see something that says patterns. And then inside patterns, there's 3 different categories. So for example, if I go to decorative and Monster, up comes these interesting patterns, and I can click on any of them. Now when I do, you see the pattern inside kind of changes. So you might find one that you totally like. You'll notice now though that this piece has the pattern. Okay, that's great, but we lost that brown color. So here's what I would recommend. Before we had it like this. All you have to do is take this, hold Option, copy it. Oops. Option, copy. So now you have two of the same piece, right? This one, we could put that pattern on it. This one is the color. Now, obviously, my color is covering the pattern, right? But if you right-click on this and you arrange it and you send it to the back, it's now underneath the pattern. All right, now this one is the pattern. Okay, so you can see this on top. All right, that's great. But what if you want to change the pattern, change the size, change the color? All you have to do now, you'll notice that the pattern got added here to the swatches. All I have to do is double-click it. When I double-click it, I see on my screen this thing that looks like this. And it shows the whole pattern, but it actually is made up of just this one piece. I could go in and change the color of that piece. And then when you go hit Escape on your keyboard or hit this little arrow to go back, you can see now that has changed. And last and finally, you can go online and find textures and patterns. So for example, here, if I was to go to leather pattern or leather texture, right? And I was to find some kind of leather that I liked, right? Like this one. And I want to use it in the shoe. I could actually bring this in and use it. So I'm going to drag it in like this, right into Illustrator. See if it comes up. There it is. And then in order to use this, I'm going to try first just to drag it into my swatches and drop it. And you'll see it shows up right there. So I can go to any piece now and actually click on that. And you'll see the pattern does come up. Now, we'll work on class on fixing it a little bit and resizing it. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but you can still click on it and also see through it into that other color by going over here to what's so-called transparency. And you can change the blending mode to kind of see through it. So if I use overlay, so now you're getting kind of both. You're getting the brown color underneath. So you got to kind of play with them until you get what you want. Right, now we got a little bit of the pattern plus the color. So you have lots of options for yourself. So either one shape at a time, or you can use that tool we talked about, the shape builder tool, to create something like that, and then you can add your patterns, gradients, and effects to your work. If your shoe does not sit straight, the best thing to do is say View and Rulers, and then on the top and side of your screen you'll see these little rulers. If you click and you drag down on the ruler, you can create a straight line that goes at the very bottom. I also do one usually on the left front here, like right in the front. I pull another one that goes from here to here. And the same thing at the top. This just kind of locks it in, but it helps you in terms of lining stuff up, right? And so now when you're doing the bottom of the sneaker and you're trying to make that line and make sure that it's flat and nice and clean, when you go like this, you could just touch right on the line like this. And now you know that bottom is perfectly straight because you followed that guideline that was underneath. Okay? All right, that's it for now. Any questions, please come see me in class.